Just started watching it a little bit. I watch a lot of the Pivot with Ryan Clark and Shannon Crowder and Fred Taylor, and watch a little bit of I Am Athlete too.
Yeah.
I just started checking out the other one though with Kelsey.
I will say though, the Kelseys, they made a very good question, and now that I have a player with me, I will ask him: do you think a normal person, just like an everyday Joe, could get a 1 yard play in the NFL? 1 yard.
The average person. So that discount that we're not even in that because we're athletes, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Athletes, if you will.
I'm gonna say yes, but it's funny why I'm saying yes, because as an athlete in college, I was hurt a lot. So like I would be in the training room, but I remember one of my running backs, one of my buddies, he got hurt. He tore his ACL. Oof. So like he's in the training room 24/7. But like they come up with all these like different things for like rehab for you to do that translate, like it correlates with your field play, the moves you make. So it's like these little dots and they light up. So like say if we're sitting in this room right here, so we'll be right in the middle. It'll be on each corner, maybe right there and right there. So you have to like keep your head on a swivel, and it's going for like a minute, or it'll go like the fastest time or whatever. You can put it to different settings. My trainer, like literally he's an athletic trainer. He got a faster time touching all the dots in all the different areas than my starting running back did.
Wow.
We took our starting DB, our starting receiver. He still had a faster time than them.
That's crazy.
And he literally was like pretty much a guy straight off the street.
Like a regular dude.
So it's like, I think so, because you catch people, I don't know, there are a lot of people that do have like athletic backgrounds.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think in the proper setting, just your average Joe could get 1 yard in the NFL. Now, if we're getting a first down, that's pushing it.
First down is pushing it.
First down is definitely pushing it.
Getting a yard, I definitely think so.
It depends.
Getting a couple yards, I think they can do that.
It depends on who I'm lining up against. If I'm the running back and they're like, all right, we're going to do a stretch right, and on the right is Aaron Donald, I'm walking off the field. Because that's just not going to happen. Aaron Donald is going to pancake me. That dude benches 500 pounds.
But you got to have faith in your lineman, though.
I do have faith in my lineman. I don't have faith in me.
But see, the average guy off the street, that's the thing. He may not mentally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He mentally is still scared.
He might be scared, but then he also may not know, like, are they going to get a review of, like, the play? Like, how to run the play effectively and this and that?
Yeah.
Because if you learn what hole to read, because guess what? If Aaron Donald wants to jump outside, cut it up inside.
That's true.
Oh, easily.
So it's just like,
We got 8 seconds left.
learning the game and, like, really, like, knowing it gives guys advantages. So, like, that's why I always say, like, too, for, like, guys that, like, if you know your playbook, it's one thing to know it, but to, like, understand it deeper is, like, different. And that's what, I learned that in college.
Are we clapping?
Hold on.
But, like, I'll look at the sideline, like, tempo stuff. They're sitting there doing all the signals. Oh, I knew what play it was.
Right. Yeah, it does
Little
help.
stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't want to take up a whole nother segment, but this is some of Tom Brady's stats per championship games. And at this point, he was only in 14. This is 8 of them, I don't know which ones of these he actually advanced, but he's advancing in probably half of these. That's crazy, dude. And then he gets another chance to go in the Super Bowl and then come back against Matt Ryan after he puts up a game like this. A lot of quarterbacks, if any quarterback puts up these numbers, no one's gonna. Bottom line is, all I'm saying is he plays like this and gets a second chance and goes to the Super Bowl and plays like he did against Philly. He looked great. They didn't win, but then he goes against Falcons. So he's awesome against Seattle, MVP. He's playing like this, and then he's going on to win another championship or Super Bowl, and everyone's like, "Yeah, he's the GOAT."
Defense.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's not Brady.
Okay, but look at it also. Look at it, the 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Guess what? If you go back and look at that game, I guarantee you he had a clutch drive in that game that possibly pretty much ended the game. Could have won them the game.
Probably.
Right, so he's just, somehow he's in positions to play well. Aaron Rodgers will have 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then they still lose. I don't understand. He's clutch, sure. I'll 100% give him that one. He's earned it.
I'd rather take the guy that I know 3rd and long in game there's a chance of him pulling something out his ass to get us this win,
Yeah.
then this guy that I know, for a fact, he's throwing for 400 yards a game. It's going to look awesome. But guess what? If my defense is giving up, extra points, it's not a for sure he's going to get them back for me on the back end.
Yeah. You're also going to remember if the defense is out if the defense is not making plays and the quarterback is out on the field for the majority of the game, he's going to get tired. Quarterback gets tired because the defense keeps selling, so he has to keep trying.
Not even that. It's not just on the quarterback, too. It's like your whole
the whole team
whole
on the
offense,
quarterback.
whole offense. Like,
Yeah. Except the quarterback, you got no game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not satisfied, but I do see where you're
He
coming
said,
from.
"I'm not satisfied.
I'm not, man.
I've lost
well, the
this
biggest
debate."
question. So where's Aaron Rodgers going? Where do you want him to go?
What do you mean by that?
Where do you want him to stay in
Do you
Green
think he's
Bay?
staying in Green Bay?
That's actually gonna be my next topic. That's
Bro, he's
perfect.
spot baby, man. I can't. I don't want to watch Jordan Love out there. I actually don't know what he has, but
It's a waste
to be
of-
honest, keep Rodgers. I really wish that they just went all in. Like the Rams did with McVay or
Stafford.
Stafford.
Well, yeah, with
Bro,
McVay,
McVay
he
and
literally
Stafford.
said, "Let's go all in now."
That's
Yeah, and they
You
won.
got to look where they've been.
Who else did they sign? Like they had so many one-year deals. I mean, they ended. They got
Well, they-
Ramsey at one point. That's not exactly
They
how it
re-signed
went, but-
Eric Weddle literally for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yep.
Literally for the Super Bowl. He came out of retirement to play the Super Bowl.
it's awesome.
That is insane. Like, imagine getting a call from the Rams organization.
Yeah,
Hey, I know you retired like 2 years ago. You want to play in the Super Bowl?
Hell
You know
yeah.
teams do that for real though, right?
Yeah.
They reach out, especially guys that's been in their systems. They'll definitely reach
If
out.
they need the position, and I know they needed a safety because I can't remember who, but they got injured.
Yeah, somebody got hurt.
It might have been. I think it's John Johnson.
I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember either, but I know a safety got hurt. It was a big name, so they needed to re-sign somebody.
And he got hurt in that game too.
Weddle?
Yep.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because that was the game.
I think he tore his tricep or
Something like
bicep,
that.
sib, something.
That was the game OBJ tore his ACL.
Yep.
That was horrible. Like, I was really pulling for OBJ.
I feel so bad. Like I was actually really excited to see him get back in it. Like
He literally, like, OBJ was such an underappreciated weapon on that team. Like, he got them so far that
he
year.
did do really good, and I would.
Because it's, in my opinion, they didn't ask much of him
Correct.
because he wasn't the number one guy.
Nope.
Pushing in between that 2 and 3 receiver
Yeah.
at that point. Guess what? Okay, Cup, you're going deep. Okay, you have to respect Cooper Cup.
Absolutely. One
You
of the
had to
best in the
respect. Who was the other receiver? Was it Reynolds?
game. No, it's Allen Robinson.
No,
got it.
that was this year. He just. This is his first
Yeah,
year.
Rob. Yeah, that was his first. Who
Did
was
who?
it last
No,
year?
Reynolds was on. I think
Was
he was
it
like
Reynolds?
first string. He was on the team.
But he's fast as hell. So it's like you have to respect those
Right.
guys.
It was Robert Woods.
It
That's
was
who it was.
Robert Woods.
Yep. He actually left there and he went to Tennessee.
He went to
after.
Tennessee.
and sucked ass.
But it's like you got to respect those guys, and then you just send Odell out on a small little shallow play, take it. You can see he's going 15, 20. Like
Exactly.
that was a new check down at that point because I don't think their running game was that great
No,
either.
it wasn't
So,
because Cam Akers was injured.
Darnell Henderson actually picked it up pretty good last.
Darnell Henderson picked it up, but I mean, I think the Rams overall, they don't have a very good run game.
As of
Yeah.
right now, hell no.
Their run
in
game
my
has
opinion, they have like what old school West Coast type run game. Like think about wasn't Gurley with them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so like they killed Gurley's success, in my opinion.
They killed his knees.
Because all you fucking did was run stretch left and stretch right.
No, for real. When he got to the Falcons, like he might as well just had 2 crutches on the field.
Like it was bad. Like even I think the Falcons used him wrong too.
The Falcons definitely used him wrong. I went to a Falcons game. Every drive that the defense was on the field, I saw him. He had ice packs on his knees on the sideline.
What a sad story.
I feel, dude, Todd Gurley was so good.
You just gotta,
So good.
I saw you look at a team like Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their success. Don't get me wrong, Mahomes is really good, but they look at the pieces around them and where those players thrive at. What are they really good at?
Yeah.
And they break it down to like each position, to like their linemen. What are their linemen really good at? Are they athletic linemen? Can they get out on screen? Stuff like that. Like
I haven't thought about that. I don't think.
I never thought about that
I don't
either.
think of skill sets of linemen. You guys are.
Oh no, you have to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, every position in the NFL has a skill.
Bro,
Yeah,
how
so
many times does your uncle walk up to you and talk about fantasy football and he brings up a lineman? It doesn't happen.
Linemen are like we're
Unsung
like the
heroes.
we're like the
That's it.
sleepers. Oh, especially O-line, we're like the sleepers.
For sure.
Unless you're labeled as like the left tackle, like put it like this: when we have all the success in the world, we hear nothing.
Yeah.
But soon as we're shit and things aren't going well, we're the first ones to blame.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the line didn't hold up, and this, that, and the other. The line fell apart.
I think it's hilarious because I've like mainly always played like O-line, especially like once I got to college, it was always O-line.
Yeah.
But people will be like, "Oh, you missed this, you missed that," or like in comments and stuff like that. Fans are crazy. Let me tell you.
I will 100% agree. Fans are ridiculous.
In college, I threw a punch against Michigan game, real chippy game, going back and forth. I got spit on, got pissed, threw a punch. Long story short, like by the time I left the field, walked through the little tunnel down the hallway, my phone as I'm walking again, going crazy, and I pick it up. I literally had death threats.
God.
What?
Fans are crazy.
Michigan fans especially are
Michigan,
crazy.
But then, like as I'm like looking at my phone, I just felt so bad because my parents were at that game.
Ooh.
And they had like coach parents, like they're wearing your jerseys and stuff like that, and I'm just like, damn,
It's like, shit.
they're sitting up there. It was funny.
It's
It's funny, but it wasn't.
Oh, God, dude. That's so crazy. I could only imagine. I really want to know. Damn, we only got like a minute left. That's crazy. What was your, like, so I know you got, what were your offers out of high school?
Out of high school, I didn't have the grades, but if I did have the grades, I would have signed Alabama. I was I think at the time I was like a top 10 defensive tackle.
That's awesome.
So, crazy story. I made the switch from D-line to O-line. I went to junior college first. My junior college wanted to redshirt me. And I said, I'm not getting redshirted. Because they brought back all their D-linemen from the year before. Didn't want to get redshirted. They're like, oh, like our right tackle just tore his ACL, like try out offense. My guard next to me is a Hispanic guy. He's from Kansas. His name is V. He literally told me what to do every single fucking play. He's like, hey, it's a pass. Or like, if it's full slide, hey, just slide this way. It's run. Hey, you got to get up to him. Like, every single play. Because I was like, I don't want to learn this playbook. Because I'm going back to defense next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was a top 10 defensive lineman, D tackle in the state of Georgia.
That's awesome.
I was getting compared to Kim Teachee a lot. But the only difference was I was a little bit bigger than him. I just didn't have his speed because he was running like a 4.4. It was crazy. He was running like a 4.4 out of high school at like
As a lineman?
6'4", like 280, running a 4.4.
That is absolutely nuts.
So
Oh, darn.
It always athletes continue to amaze me that they can make those transitions. You're training for literally like what, 10 years? How long have you been playing?
I've been playing probably like a little over that. Like I started it in like middle school.
Yeah. So you're playing for that long, doing the same thing. Push the guy, get the quarterback, running back, whatever. And then you're able to make such a drastic change. I mean, Edelman's a good example of that. I think he was a QB. Was it even college?
It was a
Yeah.
QB.
In college. Was it college?
Yeah.
Kent State.
How do you make that transition? You just go from throwing the ball to catching it? That is drastic.
I said it's kind of like going back to like when I say like it's one thing to know the playbook, but to fully understand where everyone's supposed to be, especially as a quarterback. What makes quarterbacks great is when they understand their receivers. And they can get with their receivers and they can get that connection because then it's like, oh, I know for a fact every one of your curls, you're going to run it at 5. But you might run yours a little deeper at 7. But it's like you build that connection, you know, where they need to be at for each pass, like each play.
Yeah.
So that's how quarterbacks build it. Linemen, though, I think what helped me was I was that defensive lineman. High school, I was really like, I had weight on me, but like I was just long and lanky. So it was like I was strong, but it's like me, I'm watching YouTube videos 24/7 on plays and all this stuff. I wanted to be that kid. I'm trying to hit moves and all this and that. So I knew what I wanted to do as a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
That helped me with O-line.
Right.
Because I know like defensive line, okay, if I'm going to like do a club swim or a club chop, if I'm winding my arm all the way back here for my club, I'm going to get hit in my chest. So it was like little things like that made me a better defensive lineman, made me excel at O-line.
Right.
And I was a good athlete too.
Yeah, so you knew not everything, but you were prepared in what to expect. You've already seen the other side of the field for 10 years.
Yep.
I think, would you say that that's good evidence for showing that a lot of it's up here than physical? dude, quarterback to wide receiver is crazy.
That is nuts.
So I think that would be good evidence for.
Didn't that happen with one of the Kelsey brothers? Didn't Jason switch
Both of them.
positions? Yeah, they
Both of them, yeah.
yeah, they both switched positions.
Jason was a walk-on running back. He won as they keep saying running back, but he was like that fullback,
Like a fullback.
that fullback like tight end.
Yeah, and then wasn't Travis?
Travis was a legit. He was a
He was a
quarterback.
quarterback.
He was a quarterback. Kept getting in trouble. He got actually kicked off the team. His brother begged the coach to bring him back on,
Yep.
but he was like, "We don't really have room for a quarterback. We brought in another quarterback." So he went to like tight end. So he had pretty sure his first year back, he was playing like wildcat quarterback and like tight end.
Mm-hmm. I knew that, but it's just crazy how NFL players, not even NFL players, they can just switch positions.
Yep.
Or
Or even,
literally,
like a lot of people don't know. Even at the draft, well, not the draft, the combine. Certain players, certain players, they might come ask you like, but like this, if freaking Jerry Jones is walking up to you, or if okay, I use a bad example. Sometimes he might be him, but even though I'm pretty sure isn't he their active like owner and GM, but he'll have like somebody else underneath him as like GM too.
Yeah.
So like he'll have like they'll pull guys, the scouts will be like, hey, like come up to you like, hey, like we know you play XYZ, but would you mind doing these type of drills? Like at the end, it'll be at the end. So majority of the time it's not filmed or anything, but they'll do it. So like a lot of the time, it's like D ends or D tackles, depending on what system they played in college. So D tackle might move to D end in like a 3-4. That D end might be a linebacker now in the 3-4 because he's standing up. Or another crazy one, you remember Trace McSorley?
Throw it on a
Yeah.
He was
dime.
the quarterback from Penn State. I played him in college also too. So he was at Penn State, and then I played against Saquon. I
Oh, you did play against
I found about
Saquon.
Saquon. Like that was my first year transferring into Minnesota, playing Penn State at Penn State. It was a whiteout.
Oh God.
I like playing away games. I like getting that whole atmosphere of other teams, and I'm like, it was cool. But when I say they beat us in overtime, and it was literally like a little bullshit ass little pass, and like they scored. When I said the cannons were shooting, everything, everybody's pissed. I'm literally sitting there like, God damn, like
What is happening?
this is how they do it here. It is cool. But yeah, like Trace McSorley though, I guess in high school I think he played safety.
Wasn't he a little small for a safety?
I think he played both ways because most players play both ways in high school.
That's true.
So I think he played safety too. And at the combine, because he's a really good athlete, he ran fast. He ran like a 4.6, I think. 40. They asked him to do like safety drills.
Wow.
Because they knew that he played safety at one point. They asked him to do safety drills. So everyone, we watched him throw and stuff like that. But while the media wasn't like, they're not covering this part. Yeah, while there's guys over there doing other type of stuff like DN stuff or like D tackles or like outside linebacker stuff. Yeah, he was over there backpedaling and doing like agility stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just to see him.
You know what? Another example of this, Terrell Pryor. Are you guys familiar?
Of
Yeah,
course.
he
I didn't
Terrell
get it.
Pryor is a great example.
Yeah,
It's funny because like all these guys, like he was with the Jags that year I came too. They brought him in.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro. What was it? He started off as a QB and went to wide receiver as well.
Yeah.
He was a dog too.
When he was in Cleveland, they used him as the Wildcat.
Yep.
Yeah, and didn't he get like 1K yards like his first season?
Yeah, I literally it's crazy. So like I literally just saw on Instagram like a couple days ago. He took it like 98 yards for like he literally just kept it 98 yards and then walked straight back sat on the bench because he's in as like a wildcat.
If you could choose any NFL player to play on the same team as them, who are you choosing? Any player.
To be on the same team.
So you can just be with that person like every day.
That's hard because I'm thinking about it from like different reasons.
That's
like,
fair because I'm looking at it just from I like this player.
Like okay, like when I was with the Jags that year, Calais, great person. I learned he taught me like a lot of just like everyday knowledge and stuff like that, especially financially.
Yeah.
Of course, he's in
That's
like
nice.
he's in a huge tax bracket, but he taught me. He was just talking to me. He was like, man, he was like, you want to know how much like my yearly budget is a year? In my head, I'm like talking shit. I'm like, what? Like $1 million? Because that's what you're making a game at least. And he was like, he was laughing. He was like, you know, like after taxes, he's like, you know, it's roughly about that, honestly. So after taxes, he said he was bringing home about like $750K a game.
Oh, okay.
But he was like, his yearly budget was about $780K. So I was like, is it because of that? Is that what you make a game? And he was like, honestly, no. But like I said, he just thought about it that way, that it's about the same. he has an account to where it was like a high interest gain account, and I believe he said it was 44 mil in that account,
Bro. That's
and he was gaining like 780K a year in interest. So he is literally living off interest. And he told me I was like, so do you honestly spend? He said no. He said that like the year before he honestly tried to get as close to it as he could, and that was just being funny. Like, so like that offseason, he said him and his wife, they traveled way more. He said he bought another boat and like stuff like that. But he was just like, even then though, he was like, I don't know. He was just like, he lives, of course, he lives beyond our means.
Yeah.
Because he's making way more, but he's still like, you're not seeing him going to go buy, I want a brand new car today, so I'm just going to go do it just because I can. I'm not going to go spend $100,000 on all designer clothes just because I can do it. He's not one of those guys. So just learning from him financially and being like, seeing different stuff like that, it was good.
That is so cool.
Gronk's another guy to look up to, and Shaq. They're both
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. I think Gronk hasn't touched any of his game checks.
He hasn't.
Yeah. And
He
heard
lived
about that.
all of it, all off his investments.
Yep.
yeah,
Shaq was doing the same
commercials
thing.
and stuff. That's where
Marshawn Lynch was doing that too for a period when he was in Seattle.
He was doing
He was
that.
living off straight Skittles money.
Oh yeah.
I remember the Skittles. Remember after the Super Bowl, he said, "I'm here so I won't get fined."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary moment right there.
But you know that was real though too.
I know it was.
Like we're like forced to deal with the media. Like we have to. Like they want to talk to you. Like of course, like if you're hurt, then you don't. If you're hurt, you don't talk to the media really.
Yeah.
But if
Can you fake an injury? It's like, hey man, my ankle.
My ankle's hurting.
Later.
yes and no. Like it's got to be like legit. They look into everything. So like say like put it like this. Like I don't know if you guys know. Like there's an injury report.
Yeah.
So say we all play for like Atlanta, right? Guess what? I hurt my wrist. My wrist is sore at practice. I'm like, hey, like my wrist is sore. Like they might look at it just, hey, put some ice on. We'll check on it tomorrow or the day after. Guess what? I'm on the injury report now.
Nice.
So it's like they document everything, but it's for both reasons though why they do. So it's good and bad. Because on my end, say okay, I just hurt my wrist, but they really didn't look at it that deep, and say they could cut me tomorrow. They had documentation that I came in for it. So before you try to release me fully, okay, I want to go get an MRI and X-rays to make sure that it is okay. Because guess what? If it's not, now you have to compensate me for that.
Right.
Because I know there's a couple guys like my rookie year. Like they went in like, oh, like we're gonna cut you, this and that. We wish you the best. Slid him his release papers. Just signed it. My agent told me straight up, do not sign any fucking thing they give you. So I don't care what it is. And it's like how they hand it to you. They'll be like, so, oh, here you go. Yeah, it's just typical routine.
Yeah,
like,
just read it.
and it's literally because it's just like, but guess what? As soon as you signed it though, so say like because I had surgery, so even though like I was reporting to IR, if I would have like initially like signed those release papers, they wouldn't have had to pay me for my injury year. They wouldn't have had to pay for my surgery, anything. Because I signed, because within those pages that you're signing and initialing, it states that you're 100% healthy and you have no injuries, blah, blah, blah. Like, everything's been reported.
It's fucking dirty, bro.
It is. But it's a business at the end of the day, too.
I
So, like,
know,
that's
the NFL's business.
And there's been a few things that you told us,
Hmm.
and I'm starting to think, do they even care about the players, really? I don't know. There's just things that you're telling me.
It's mixed. In my opinion, honestly, if you go to a team that the coach has played before, like actually played in the NFL, they understand how it is. So those those teams they're just different. It doesn't feel the same, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to like another coach that might have pretty much got in just because who he knows or his dad's the partial owner or something like that. Because there are people like that get into coaching too.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Mike McDaniels. Great example.
But like I don't know, it's like they like certain people like you have to like earn like you got to earn their respect. They said that's why like Belichick is like so like respected the way that like he is because he didn't really play, but he's smart. He knows his shit, and at the same time he respects players. Is he gonna be hard on you? Yes, but it's just like if you ever watched that was it a 30 for 30 with Belichick and who's the other coach? Parsons or Parcells?
Bill Parcells was the coach before him, I believe.
Yeah, but you know that they come from the same coaching tree. Like they were on multiple teams together coaching.
Huh. Dude, yeah, it's wild. Coaches really bounce around a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, Belichick was also with the Browns for a bit. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm positive he was. I think he was with the Giants too. Maybe even during their Super Bowl runs, like
He
in the
wasn't.
'80s.
He wasn't with the Giants.
I think it was
He was, bro. I think.
Was it? I know he's with the Jets at one point.
He was with the Jets. I know that for a fact.
But yeah, so like Belichick and Parcells, they're under like the same like coaching tree.
I did not know that, but it doesn't surprise me because coaches, they all know each other.
Yeah.
Like they bounce around a lot.
Oh, he won. He was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think for one of those Super Bowls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was.
because
Yeah, he went on
Lawrence-
to
was it
win
Lawrence-
2 Super Bowls.
Was it Lawrence Taylor?
Is he in the '80s? I think he is.
Lawrence Taylor was the 80s.
Yeah. So yeah, he was there then.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
my
Yep.
God.
So the thing I was watching 30 for 30, they were talking about it. They're like in the beginning, they're like, man, because Bill was young, and it was like, and they named him like the D coordinator, and everyone's like, man, who the fuck is this? Like they didn't really respect him.
Uh-huh.
But when the guy started noticing, like Lawrence, like he started noticing, like, hey, like shit, I'm getting 9-10 sacks, and we're only midway through the season, and stuff like that. Like they're breaking all these records. They're like,
Maybe he knows.
like he knows something. He
Yeah.
knows his shit.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I didn't know that he was there for both Giant Super Bowls. How many rings does Belichick have?
He's
Yeah.
the
He's-
He's the best coach.
Well,
of all
that was
time.
the big thing after Tom left. Like, who was it? Was it him?
It was Belichick.
Was it Tom or was it
It
Belichick?
was Belichick.
I say Belichick.
Because they didn't the Pats make the playoffs the following year?
Yeah, but they sucked.
But the thing is,
Yeah,
Belichick.
they still.
Belichick.
But then I look at
Give
it.
time. I'm still waiting.
I look at it as systems. Like, put it like this. Like, the Packers used to be one. Their offense has changed up over the years.
Yeah.
But a traditional like system team, the Ravens,
Not
Yeah.
right now with Lamar.
they just recently started catering towards him, but even still, if you go back and look at it, they're a run first team, and the Ravens have always
Right.
been a run first team.
That's
The
true.
Patriots were a run first
Right.
team always.
That's very
It
true.
doesn't matter who gets hurt, what quarterback. You can go take a guy off the street, put him at quarterback. If he understands the concept and knows where he needs to put the ball and just understand the gameplay,
Yeah,
it's a system.
You're kind of building the case for me about Brady. That's what he is to me. I think he's an above average quarterback in a system that works great. Run first as well. I mean,
A system for
I don't think it's building the case though, because you got to think, where was Brady drafted?
6th round. Is that the question?
That's not above average. If you talk about a quarterback going that late, that's
They
pretty
evaluated him
bad.
Poorly.
Well, he wasn't even a starter. He didn't play that well at Michigan either.
Yeah, he wasn't even a full-time starter.
What's your point?
I don't think he was above average. He worked and grew into that.
Okay.
But even I think when he went to Tampa for a whole new system and all that, and Tampa definitely look what they did with Jameis. Like
Well,
Tampa
okay.
wasn't a true like a system type team. It
Yeah.
was we're gonna do what we want to do. That's what. Look at Jameis. He had a lot of success, even though he threw 30 interceptions,
30 picks in a season.
30 picks.
30, yeah.
But it was just like look at the touchdowns. Those numbers
still
he still
threw
had
31.
though.
I
So.
know. So a lot of people make the argument, well, Brady left and then he won a Super Bowl. He went to the best situation. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, both of them are all pros.
I thought the Raiders would have been better, honestly. I thought
Their defense sucks. Didn't you remember Derek Carr? The defense wasn't letting up.
well, no, but that year the Raiders they had some guys there, and that's when Gruden was still there. He was still there. Was that his
John
last year
Gruden.
too?
Yeah, that was his last year there.
In my opinion, I thought a great QB, like QB mind, with Gruden's mind and his offense.
That would have been unstoppable.
I just feel how do you stop that at that point?
Gruden
because
because a goofy dude. But
comparing
he was-
comparing their teams, okay.
Bro, look at the defense. Top 10. Points scored, and I think overall as well, top 10 for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Good O-line, and then they also brought Lenny over. What
But-
more to a team do you want? I mean, I guess his coach, or he got Arians. I don't really know his credibility.
Bruce Arians.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's a
Bruce
player's
Arians.
coach.
He's a very credible coach. I mean, he won a Super Bowl with the Cardinals too.
Yeah.
Cardinals?
Yep.
2000.
They didn't win. They lost.
I'm pretty sure they
won.
They lost to the Steelers. That was remember the.
Martavis
they lost
Bryant.
it. Yeah, but they
Martavis
won.
Bryant.
They did make it. They were
Yeah.
also an underdog team. They signed Warner. I think that was his first year there. And Warner came around and they brought them back to the
Yeah.
big game.
Dang, I feel like an idiot for not knowing that. Dang.
Yeah, they didn't win.
That's
but
crazy. No,
I
because
didn't
there
know
was
he was their
Martavis.
coach still.
Yeah, Bruce Arians was the coach of the
I
Cardinals.
didn't know
That was when. That was. I don't. Where did he coach before Arizona?
I can't remember where he was before Arizona. But yeah. No, I remember he was with Arizona for a while.
So back to what we're talking about, the Raiders compared to the Bucks. I think the Bucks had literally the perfect system. He also got Gronk over. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
So-
Gronk would have went wherever, but I think he's
Right,
so.
true.
I always joke about it because like, from a financial standpoint, it's like yeah, you're making a lot of money, but why those two teams were an option for him between Tampa and the Raiders is because there's no state income tax in both those states, and he was getting highly taxed.
yeah.
Just state income tax.
Yeah.
Wise.
Yeah, I think he was making like 40 a year. Maybe not 40. It was a lot.
Huh. I didn't know any of this, to be honest with you. He was a grad assistant from 75 to 77 at VT. Then he was an offensive coordinator with the Browns from 01 to 03. He was the OC for the Colts for a season in 2012, so he was there with Peyton Manning.
No,
And-
2012's luck, I think.
When did the Broncos win the Super Bowl?
2013.
Broncos.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, that was.
2015. 2015. They made it in 2013. They got fucked by the Seahawks. That was 2013. Next year it was Seahawks Patriots. Next year it was Carolina and Broncos.
It was 2011. Okay, so Manning had just left.
Yeah, and suck for luck. That was that year.
Yeah. So
And I think
then
they went 11-5 that first year.
I think
with Luck.
it was something like
Yeah.
that. Andrew Luck was crazy. And then he went 2013, 2017 for the Cardinals, and then to the Bucks.
Who are we talking about again?
The Syrians.
Oh, yeah.
The quarterback? Or the coach?
Yeah, yeah.
Stupid.
Here's your luck. How about that?
Oh, man.
So, Gronk, Evans, Godwin, good line, top 10 defense. What more do you want? Arians, too, he just showed his credibility. They were stacked. All they needed was a guy who could take care of the ball. And that's what Tom can do. He'll take care of the ball. He's never a huge turnover guy. And that's why he went 40 touchdowns, 5K yards?
Something like
Perfect,
that.
That's
perfect
crazy.
system for him.
I mean, I
How
think
about
the
the
perfect
Ravens? Yeah.
system for any player can make or break it. If you look at people I'm trying to think of a good example for a system player that just works.
Lamar, that works.
But Lamar wants to leave.
Lamar, they don't want to pay him.
Yeah, they're
That's the
being
thing.
stingy.
Are they going to tag him? I think
They already
They already did. See, the
Oh,
thing
shit.
was, and what really screwed it up, the Browns really wanted Deshaun Watson.
they got
And they gave him that deal fully guaranteed after all, even if you,
that was so dumb.
even all the outside of football stuff that you had going on, it's the fact that you took a year off.
Mm-hmm.
You sat for a year, had all that trouble going on, and then you still was able to get that.
He got that money and what was it? 3 first-round picks,
Yep.
Yeah, it was 3 first
and of course it's the Browns.
Which literally, it made no sense. And honestly, thank you, Cleveland, because he was supposed to come to the Falcons. He was that close to signing.
I think he would have did good with Atlanta.
Really?
I think he
Their
would have did.
system.
I think he would have did really good with Atlanta.
See, the Falcons are an interesting team because we're always mid because we
You're worse
don't.
than it. I'm sorry.
We're mid, but the thing is, we don't have key, really big players like Kyle Pitts last season, Marcus Mariota. I wanted to.
It didn't look that bad, but
You know why Mariota can't? You know why Mariota had that shot, right? You know why he had the shot with the Falcons, right?
No, I do not.
Coach,
Arthur Smith.
the coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Arthur Smith.
That's who drafted. That's who brought him in.
That's who brought him in 2015,
to Tennessee.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's he was going to linger for a little bit and get another shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that did not pan out. He stopped playing. Well, I know he got injured, but then he just stopped playing.
Also, you called them mid. When was the last time they were 500? Because that's mid. Last time I think it's 2016. I think the last time they made the Super Bowl was the last time they were 500.
You hold your horses, son.
They suck.
Y'all weren't that terrible last year. Well, at one point when I would check.
Well,
Because I only started checking because one of my buddies ended up going there.
Ooh.
Cool.
He's a lineman. He's from Georgia. Chuma Edoga. He's with the Jets. I think he was a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
I have heard of him. Doesn't he wear number 70 something?
I think so.
I think I've heard of
I mean,
him.
as a lineman, your odds are pretty good.
I've seen linemen that don't wear 70 something.
Yeah, I think they also go to 90s. Are offensive linemen 90s? I know
No,
that's
O-line, it's 50s, 60s, 70s. But
So-
then now they changed like the rules, so like now you got like defensive linemen. I like that though.
You like it?
Like
Really?
yeah, people that were like complaining about it, especially people in the NFL, it's stupid because I'm like, you don't block a fucking number, like you block a person.
I guess
Like,
that's true.
so it's
but
like
it's sometimes nice to see a number and you're like, oh, that's who they are. Like it helps me keep.
you should know that
keep
anyways
along
from your scouting report.
as a
Like,
consumer.
Yeah.
2017. And then we went the same record 2 different times.
What? Okay, so tell me one by
So
one.
2017 we were 10-6. 2018 to 19 we were 7-9. 2019 to 20, once again 7-9. 2020 to 21, 4-12.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not good,
that was
bro.
bad.
That is not good.
21, 22, 7-10, and this past year 7-10.
That's just straight cheeks. That's not.
I'm not saying the Falcons are great, but I'm saying like when we had Matt Ryan, bro, like Matt Ryan, dude. I'm so sorry,
No, you're
dude.
good.
No, Matt Ryan, bro. You can say whatever you want, but I wanted to say this earlier. If Matt Ryan had the Super Bowl ring that he should have won that
He'd
night,
be so much more respected.
he'd be better than Aaron Rodgers.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
No.
Sorry,
No.
I said what I said.
Statistically,
No.
physically,
No.
Okay, hold on.
dude. Rodgers. If you look at a highlight reel of Rodgers,
I'm not saying clutch factor.
okay,
Aaron Rodgers is extremely clutch.
statistically, Rodgers has, is it 4 MVPs? 11, 14, back to back. Yeah, he has 4 MVPs, and he's been top 3 for a few other years. Highest passer rating in history.
Okay.
Well, actually, Mahomes probably has it by now, or whatever, but Allen as well.
In the 230 contests in his career, Rodgers has been successful on 5,001 of his 7,660 attempts for 59,050 yards. During the 234 games in Ryan's career, he connected on 5,551 of his 8,464 for 62,792 yards.
Yeah, dude, yards isn't everything. Look at touchdowns.
I'm going there.
Also, look at turnover touchdown ratio.
I'm going there. Rodgers averaged 256.8 yards per contest through the air. Matt Ryan was 268.3.
Look at turnovers. That's so
I'm
important.
trying to find that. Oh, here we go. Rodgers has thrown 475 touchdowns while tossing 105 interceptions.
That's like 4 to 1.
Ryan is 381 to 183.
That's like 2.5. So
So it's 475 to 103 versus 381 to 183.
470. Dude, Rodgers is almost 5 to
475.
1.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this,
Bro, Rodgers.
I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan either by far.
The thing is, I like Aaron. Bro, like
I don't even like him as a person. Even as a person, I don't think he.
did you ever have to like play him?
I don't even think he. In my opinion, he's not even cocky. He's just like he's
all over the
a
place.
bitch to me.
He's a
Like
bitch, yeah.
that's just how he is. Like I don't know. Like
I don't know.
it's just how he carries himself, how he goes about like everything. Like
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could care less about his personality.
Aaron Rodgers is
He's
right now, especially, is a very interesting case because he went on that darkness retreat.
yeah.
I'm not looking too deep into it because this is like the 4th offseason in a row where it's like, where's Aaron gonna go? I'm probably fucking over it, man.
I don't think he's gonna go anywhere.
I don't think he's gonna go either. He just signed a new contract before this last season. He's got 2 more
The
years.
thing is, it makes no sense for him to go anywhere.
It
like,
doesn't.
why would
He
he
wants to win. Like
he wants
now.
to
The
win?
Packers, before this year, was it 3 times in a row that they went 13 wins? That's fucking
The
winning.
thing is, the Packers don't. They just need another wide receiver.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know why they
But
didn't.
Their run
It's
game is
like-
good.
Their defense is all right.
Their
they need to
defense-
revamp their O line.
They do need to revamp the
because
O-line.
people's been getting hurt.
Injuries, yeah. That's
And
Their
it's like they
defense-
gave a couple guys deals, but their deals aren't like crazy to where it's
Yeah.
like no, they're solidified here for a fact.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. And their defense, it's serviceable.
Yeah.
But their wide receivers, Aaron literally has no one to throw to.
Yeah,
Christian
no-
Watson, the rookie, did amazing.
No, yeah, I have high hopes for him, but like it's almost too late. Go fuck it all out, man. Do what the Rams did. It just
If I was them,
pissed me off.
I mean,
That trade didn't work.
I would
out.
say
Hell,
a big signing to get Odell in free agency.
Oh God.
please, dude.
I'd go sign like three veteran receivers.
Dude, speaking of signing, the Atlanta Falcons have the second most freed cap space, and we're doing nothing with it.
Yeah, and it's apparently y'all are out on Lamar.
Yeah, we're out on Lamar.
That, in my opinion, that's dumb.
That is so stupid.
What I would have done for Atlanta, because guess what, Lamar is your biggest recruiter at that point.
Yeah.
So as soon as you,
if we get Lamar,
confirm him,
everyone's gonna want to go
guess
there.
what?
Wait, do you guys like playing with Lamar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no,
people want to play with him.
Lamar's a locker room guy.
Hollywood Brown, I don't think he liked being with him.
No, they did. The thing is, it wasn't because I thought you were about to bring up Bateman.
Rashad
I
Bateman.
play with him. Yeah, I know him since like college. Yep.
Yeah, he did go to
But the
Minnesota.
thing is, it wasn't Lamar. It's their system. So he can't control if they're like calling like all these run plays or draw plays. Like that's not on him.
So
like,
Bateman didn't like the system.
Bateman didn't like what the GM said because the GM pretty much was saying how he drafts receivers and XYZ, and it's not what we have now. And he took offense to that, and he was like, "No, put us in position to go win, and we'll do it because like we can play."
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when you got one real receiver or like one real deep threat, and you got a guy off the street or a practice squad guy that hasn't really been playing in the NFL like that much, like. Your number one receiver is going to get double covered the whole game, and it's
for
like,
sure.
Even if you're good, you're double covered. All it takes is a tip pass, and next thing you know, someone from the other side of the field comes and picks it off.
No, for sure. And I think like the Falcons, our offense is our strong point on the team. We have Kyle Pitts, we have Drake London, we have Tyler Algier, who, in my opinion, did not get the credit that he deserved for the season that he had because he split. Huh?
Ridley's on the market.
Oh yeah, Ridley is with.
No, he's with Jacksonville.
He's with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
We basically gave him away for a bag of potato chips. Like I think it was literally like a 5th round pick.
Oh yeah, this actually happened a while ago, didn't it?
Yeah, it happened during the season when he took the time off. He literally just got reinstated.
This is very true.
So that's why the Jacksonville. That's why they're blowing it up now because before they didn't know how everything was going to play out.
Like,
so he's never officially like been in the building.
He's never been in the building. He just moved down there.
So
that's literally so crazy. Jacksonville is going to be nuts next year, dude. Because T-Law slinging the ball. Christian Kirk came out of absolutely nowhere and was like, okay, they paid me $33 million. It's time to actually play football.
Go back and look at it.
Evan Ingram.
Oh my God, Evan Ingram.
1K yards.
They franchise tagged him.
Okay, they did. I will say, coming out of nowhere, Evan.
Actually, no, I take that
Evan
back.
came
Not
out of
Christian
nowhere
Kirk.
because he wasn't that consistent
In New York. No.
But Kirk, he was consistent as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I didn't know until I went back and started looking. He was highly consistent.
No, I take back what I said.
But like he's not gonna be the Odell. He's not gonna make you miss and then go for 50, 60 yards and stuff like that.
I miss those.
When you throw him that ball, even if it's like a 40-yard pass, he's gonna catch it
for sure.
Like a possession receiver.
Yeah,
he's catching it going to the ground. He's not getting any yards after that.
Yeah, no. Evan Ingram just was like out of nowhere because in New York, like nobody liked Evan Ingram in New York.
Yeah, I think his first year was like really good, and after that it died.
Everything else, and he was like dropping passes and all this.
He made the fucking Pro Bowl over Robert Tonyan in like 2020. Tonyan, I think, had like 13 touchdowns, and Ingram had 1 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I remember that. Dude, good tight ends are like hard to come by.
They are. I also wonder, is it because the tight ends aren't good, or is it because schemes don't try to utilize them?
Oh my God! Look at this. Texans to lose 5th round pick in 2023 draft, fined $175K for salary cap reporting violation.
Huh.
That was 10 minutes ago. Like, wow, that is literally insane. Of course, it's the Texans, but
sounds like the Browns actually.
Hold on.
Or the Commanders.
The Commanders.
Apparently, I saw a video and they were ranking they were ranking teams based off of literally just stats, and the Redskins got the worst of everything, like health facility, meals, coaching staff.
Oh yeah, they did the report cards.
Something like that.
Yeah, they did player report cards. I looked at the Falcons, and it's just like the team mid. But dude, what the?
So the Redskins were at the bottom. I don't remember who's at the top. Do you remember?
Miami was up there. Minnesota.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else was up there.
It was
No, it wasn't Arizona.
It was surprising how poor the facilities were. They were talking about how...
Oh, no, just yeah, I saw that.
This is the NFL, bro. A fucking multi-billion-dollar industry.
I mean, that has nothing to do with it. It's all about the people that's inside that building though, and how they run it and stuff like that.
It's still fucking crazy. Like,
I'll
we'll
say
dumb it
this.
down from billion to like maybe millions, and you can't even have like a safe environment.
I'll say this: the lunchroom in the Jags, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
The Jaguars had pretty good chefs in there.
Where's your go-to meal?
It's like different meals like every
Oh,
day. The
that's-
only consistent thing like being in an NFL facility, well, for the Jaguars, was your breakfast pretty well. There's like random different breakfast like brunch stuff, and then every day I would get an omelet, custom made omelet made right there in front of me and stuff like that.
Would you consider yourself babied by your team? Bro, they make your meals. They're always checking up on you. Oh, here's some ice for your wrist, and they will take care of you. Like, won't they?
Yes and no, but it's like I feel like with what we go through, they have a lot of accommodations for us because it's like, yeah, don't get me wrong, NFL players make a lot of money, but it's also a lot of stress and strain on their bodies, mentally, physically. It's also a lot of stress on their families. Because you got to think, like, don't get me wrong. You're like, okay, let's say look at Tom Brady. How much did Tom Brady make last year?
Too much.
50 mil, 40 mil?
Something like that.
It was a lot.
Too much.
Put it like this: a lot of fucking money, and he still got a divorce.
Oh my.
His wife was still unhappy at the end of the day because she wanted him to be done, wanted him to be home more and stuff like that. So it's like, it's a lot. And I will say that because I feel like I was kind of like dealing with it now. So like, I took time off from football. Wife doesn't want me to go back and play, but I'm like, I'm still young. I still have a shot. I'm only 27. So like right now, I'm set to go leave next week, go play in the USFL. And I've already been in contact with my agent, a couple teams. They're like, all right, go put out some good film and like try to get you in the camp.
Game, bro.
So if you get back into camp, I'm right back in that circle. So it's like,
I've been watching the USFL and the XFL. It is really entertaining.
XFL looks fun. Like, I've seen some TikToks.
I mean, dude, the players that are running the XFL right now are Josh Gordon and Ben DiNucci.
oh, you got to remember McCarron too.
And AJ. I forgot about him. AJ, the last time he was in the
quarterback.
NFL, he played for the Falcons, and during preseason, he literally tore his own ACL.
Yep, I remember that.
I was watching that game, and I was like, that did not just happen.
2021 Brady made 40 mil. Next year, 30.
Next year. And he also signed a deal with Fox to be an analyst there.
It's gonna be.
It's a 10-year deal, I think.
Yeah, it's like 350 or 325.
Something like, yeah, it's like
A ton of money, bro. It's so sad. I'm a Brady hater, as you might have been able to tell. I can't get away from him. He retires and up. He's gonna be talking to me now.
Yeah, no,
He's talking to me for 3 hours.
Wealthy. me a sec. Thank you so much for joining the HYPECAST today. Dr. Stuglin, I hope you enjoyed this.